On the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right. Welcome into the Fitness Fanatics. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Here, what?
You probably have to scooch over just a smidge.
Oh, okay. We're getting our cameras situated here.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Well, welcome into the Super Bowl Sunday edition of the Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio right off the bat by two superstar bowlers on the women's bowling team, which is just pretty much carries the mantle for Nebraska athletics, right? I mean, national champions, always dominant, always ranked in the top 2, 3, 1, 4 in the country. So on the Super Bowl Sunday, we wanted to bring in the superstars of the Nebraska athletic, the whole athletic department right here. So we are joined in studio by Gwen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And Amara?
I'm great. Just a little tired.
Very bad.
I know. We got here and they looked a little sleepy.
They were here before us, though, so that's pretty good.
Yes, they're punctual on time, which is awesome.
We have to be.
But Gwen looked a little sleepy when I came in.
I heard you in the hallway, like, you're still sleeping? You're so loud.
It was a long nap.
Well, we appreciate you getting up today and joining us. So we're going to get right into this with you two. So this first couple segments.
Well, first we should talk about you dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, so if you could see,
you could stand up maybe.
The stream.
Yeah.
I wore my vintage bowling shirts that my dad had made for our team way back in like 2003 or 4. That I was in.
Was that before you guys were born?
I was born in 2000.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
I was about 3 or 4 years old by then.
Yeah.
Harrison, I got a little static in my. Is that because this?
Yeah, same.
It's like.
Okay. A little technical. Now I hear nothing.
Still hear it.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting this figured out. You can still talk, I think, right?
Okay. Now I don't hear it. So it's all good, I think.
We're getting this figured
out.
Okay. I think the whole system was just blown away by this cursive, my name written in cursive on this shirt.
So.
Yeah, there's a cool little detail on the sleeve, too, I think.
What? There is a little bowling pin on the sleeve.
Yeah.
So
what was your team name?
You know what? I don't even remember what our team name was. I think it was I think it might have been my dad's business.
Oh, that could be.
So we were in this bowling league. There were 5 of us. It was my dad, my brother, one of my best friends. Well, 2 of my best friends. So it was kind of like the perfect team makeup. So I'll explain this, all our averages, and you can let me know if you can find a better team of 5 to do this. So like my brother, my dad, and I all averaged about in between 160 and 170. And this is like a handicap league.
Okay. So
yeah.
a good amount.
Yeah, 210 with a little handicap. So, and then one of my buddies bowled in college. He was a bowler at Boise State, and he averaged like 230. I mean, it was just, he was amazing.
Okay.
So he was kind of like the anchor, right? And in fact, over the course of that league, I saw him bowl 300 games, which was amazing. Like in the league, it was pretty cool. The first one, I saw him, he had bowled the 299 once. So the first attempt, he left the 10 pin, and then he bowled 300 games. So he was the anchor. And then I had my other friend who he stood up when he got to bowl. He had this big arm guard, right? I mean, and you get in there and you would think he looked like Walter Ray Williams Jr., right? Getting ready to bowl. Like he had it all. He's decked up, but his average was like 90. So we had like a high handicapped, no handicap, and then us 3 average bowlers in the middle. So, but we actually won that league. And what was really funny, the funniest part of that whole season was when we bowled the commissioners team. My buddy Matt, who averaged like a 90, like literally bowled 200.
Wow.
Oops.
And the whole game were like, oh my gosh, they're just gonna investigate us for tanking,
Yes, yes.
sandbagging, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you two ever get in a game? Well, now you don't have handicap, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
it's just straight up.
It's trash.
Who's the best? Okay.
Obviously.
Well, we'll get into the intricacies
Yeah.
of bowling here a little bit later. But I first want to know, because I think it's so interesting. Like, I'm sure Gwen will start with you.
Mhm.
You didn't just roll out of bed when you were 3 years old and be like, I want to bowl in college.
No.
Right?
Right. Like I kind of just started bowling when I was 9 or 10, kind of late in the game. But it was just because my brother started bowling in high school.
Okay.
And I'm very competitive, so I wanted to beat him. So I was like, I'm gonna join too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it started.
So where are you from? Like, where did you grow up and go to school?
I'm from Hawaii,
Okay.
and I went to school at like Leluhua High School.
Okay.
Yeah, just in a small town of Waihoa. All my schools were just right there.
Okay. So how did a gal from Hawaii end up in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest in Lincoln, Nebraska to bowl for college?
It was because of Coach Straub, actually. Like Coach Straub and Coach Stumpa, they found me on YouTube because I did put a recruitment video out on there, and they contacted me one day, and they're like, "Hey, like this is Coach Straub from Nebraska, University of Nebraska." I was like, "Hey, yo, like I like this team because like I would always see them during the national championships and everything on ESPN." So I was like, "Hey, yo, like." Am I actually going to go bowling for college?
Right.
Because I was actually heading to softball practice. Like I just got out of my car to start practicing, and I got that call. And I was like, "Hey, hold on, I'll be right there. Just give me a minute."
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I got recruited.
So did you like take official visits? Like,
Mhm.
because I think most of us in that like follow sports, we're mainly like, football and basketball. So we all kind of know how that recruiting goes. But like when it comes to bowling, or when we had Reagan and Kenzie on swimming and diving, it's like, how did that whole process work? Did you have multiple schools, or how did that all work?
Well, at the point, I didn't have multiple schools. I was still deciding if I wanted to do like bowling or softball. So I was kind of just reaching out both ways. And then they asked me to come on a recruitment official visit. And I kind of was like, okay, like, sure, why not? Like, I want to see the school. I want to see what's about, see if I'm actually going to like it out there. Because I'm very much an island girl. So trying to escape that was kind of like, oh, do I want to go like see the mainland and everything? So I came on the recruitment visit. It was right after my senior night for bowling. So it was kind of like right after bowling, went to the airport, got on a flight. And then when I came here, the coaches picked me up, and we just kind of visited like the stadium and just walked around everything, met with like who would be my academic advisor, my life skills advisor, and then we kind of looked at what is the Hawks and everything.
Okay.
And then we kind of went to practice, we ate lunch and everything, and then it was just long. It was a quick, like, 2-day span, and I was just like, whoa. And I came for the Ohio State game that weekend.
Okay, so what weekend, what year was this?
2017?
Okay. 2017.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. So Ohio State, a football game?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. I think I was there
Yes.
in that game. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
And it wasn't good.
No, I was freezing. I was also freezing because I'm not used to like cold weather either.
Yes.
Like my cold was like low 50s at that point, but it was like 40s, 30s, and I was like literally like shaking. And I was like, I don't like this.
Well, you could see, like, based on what I'm wearing today, shorts and a t-shirt, like when it's 30, that's like feels like paradise.
Yes.
It's like feels like it's like hot outside right now for me. So did you like commit on the spot? Did you go home, talk to your parents? What did your parents think about you leaving to come to Lincoln, Nebraska?
On the spot, I did verbally commit because I was like, there's no place like or other than Nebraska. I was like, this is like probably like one of my lifetime experiences that I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
So my parents really didn't care. It was kind of my decision. They always wanted me to go out. Like they wanted me to go away for college. They said they want me to experience new things, meet new people. And I thought this was a good opportunity. And being in Nebraska, I was just like, oh, this is going to be a change. So
Right.
yeah.
All right, Nicole,
Awesome.
do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back,
Early.
yeah, we'll take a little early break. With Sip and Jake. No, just kidding. We'll take a little early break, and then we'll come back and get to know Amara and her story. All right, we'll be right back on Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Husker baseball captain and left-handed pitcher Kyle Perry.
Baseball can be a really humbling game. We've battled a few injuries early last year, and the things just didn't fall into place last year, and it sucks. And the guys that are in leadership roles were on that 2021 team. I think all of us old guys that were there are definitely bringing that same mindset into practice, bringing that same mindset that 21 team had throughout the entire roster. And it's really showing just in the way everyone's really going about their business around here.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to do or not.
But remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People's City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quick connected to them and ensure they get back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, we all do a little. We change a lot.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is how we jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Super Bowl Sunday edition of the Fitness Fanatics. Thank you for joining in. We're joined in studio by two of the Nebraska women's bowling team, and we could call them national champions because they are.
Yes, yes,
Now,
yes.
I don't know if you know who Aaron Davis is. AD, he's on. They have a show, AD and Raph on the Drive on the Ticket. But anyway, so he was on the '94 national championship football team. And he never played. He really jokes about it. So he always says the only time he ever got into the game, it was the 30 for 30 rule. You're up by 30 and there's 30 seconds left. The only time he ever got in. But he does have a ring and he loves that thing. So do you two have championship rings that you'd wear around you're like, hey, check this out? Or how did that go? Did you get rings or how's that? Okay.
We do have rings, but they're entirely too big for my little hand to just walk around with.
Okay.
It'll weigh down.
Yeah.
So it
really
stays
heavy.
in its little box, and I bring it out for special occasions.
Okay.
Very cool.
Now
Very
that's
cool.
so cool. AD he'll bring it out and he'll let people wear it, and take selfies and pictures. So that's something that you'll be able to do later.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
hopefully you'll have a couple rings.
Yeah, I'm hoping to walk out with two.
Yeah. So then
One
your
for each
hands,
hand.
so your hands are evenly
Even out.
weighed down,
Yes.
right? All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to know Amara. Now, where are you from, Amara? Where'd you grow up at? How'd you get into bowling? So let's hear a little bit about you.
Okay, so I am from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Okay.
And it's 30 minutes south of DC.
Okay.
Okay. And I got into bowling when I was 5. My grandfather was my first coach, and that was really our bonding experience. So I'd go bowl with him every weekend. And then I finally joined a league with, and him and my grandma would sit there and watch me and stuff. I didn't start bowling competitively, in tournaments, until I was 12.
Okay.
So yeah. And then once I hit that, that's when I started bowling in national tournaments and traveling out of the state for all that. And that's actually how I got recruited, by bowling in a national tournament. And Coach Klumpa actually saw me, recorded me. Then he hit me up on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm interested in you. But I had to double check. I was like, which University of Nebraska is this? Who's this?
Yeah.
And he's like, the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So for both of you, when you got that offer, that had to feel just amazing. This is one of the premier bowling schools in all of the country, and they want me to come to their school.
Yeah, it was surreal because honestly, Nebraska was my dream school. I've wanted to go here since I was 5.
Wow.
I watched them win the national championship that year, and I was like, I want to go to Nebraska.
Okay.
I just didn't know if I'd have the opportunity to be recruited because I don't have high school bowling
Right.
in my area, and I have to travel far and it's expensive.
Mhm.
So I didn't know if I'd get that opportunity, but got lucky.
Here you are.
Yeah.
So how was your official visit? Was it the same year? What
No.
classes are you two?
I was class of 2019. She was
Okay.
class of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came on my visit in 2018 during her freshman year. I did not go to a football game. I came here, I think I was here Monday to Wednesday.
Yes.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, and I think you guys were traveling that weekend
Okay.
too for the first tournament. Coach Klumpa picks us up. Me and my mom and my grandfather. I believe I don't remember what time I got in, but I think we just, drove into Lincoln. He showed us downtown a little bit, dropped us off at our hotel. And then the next days when we toured the stadium, met with Sherry, our advisor, met with Life Skills, Stacy and them. And then they showed me everything, the Hawks, the football stuff. And then I went and watched a 3-hour practice.
Did they not take you to lunch?
We did go to lunch. I forgot that. We did go to lunch. Then I watched a 3-hour practice. So that was long. And in that, we go meet with the coach. And that's when they,
Right.
offer us.
Right.
And then went to dinner that night with the girls. My host was Allison Morris. Amo. I love her. And she showed me around Lincoln and was trying to give me like what was a central point so I knew where I was trying to go. And yeah, that was about it. It really wasn't much because it's the middle of the week, so I don't think there were many sporting events going on.
Right.
So.
Well, it might have been a good thing you didn't go to the football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh wow, what's this?
Maybe. Well, so we were talking on break about so we grew up in Iowa, small schools in Iowa, and we didn't have a bowling.
My town didn't even have a bowling alley. Nothing. Yeah.
I think we did. It was like
Warrior Lanes.
Yeah. The Waukee Warriors. So
Yeah.
I went to school in Waukee. But so for
we
bowling,
did not. We
bowling
still don't.
for
My
us-
hometown still doesn't have a bowling alley.
Yeah.
It's a small town. It's very
Well,
small.
Bowling for me, and the only bowling that we did in school. And Harrison, you have to let us know if this is what you did
It's
too.
like the Fisher Price bowling set.
No, no,
Yeah.
not the Fisher Price bowling set. But who didn't have that when you were a kid?
I didn't.
right?
Yeah.
You're sitting in
I
the
did
living
that in
room,
school.
just
Yeah.
whipping that ball across the living room. It was awesome. So in school, we would have a bowling in gym class.
Yep.
So
I didn't even have that.
well, we use these rubber balls
Mhm.
that you could literally just, and some kids, I mean, in gym, I took everything seriously. Like I had to win everything. So
Same.
I practiced, like I would really try to do well. And then you have some of the, the kids that come in there and they just throw the ball up and it bounce and bounce and bounce. But that was my only thing for bowling in school. Because I loved bowling. Like I think if we would have had bowling in school, I would have went out for it and I would have loved it.
Yeah, but your parents bowled.
No, yes, my
So
parents.
why didn't they get you into some of the kid leagues?
Because my parents didn't do anything.
Because it was the 80s.
Well, yeah,
That's why.
late 80s,
Right.
early 90s.
Yeah. You
but-
were to be seen and not heard.
Yeah, my parents would be in a bowling league, and we would go as kids, and then we'd be in the little daycare area, where they bowled, and then they would drink afterwards. So I was like, oh, this is what a bowling league is. You just bowl and you drink beer afterwards. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Yeah.
So we weren't able to do that. So, but I think that's like one sport I would have excelled in.
Yeah, you're above average, Jeff, in bowling.
Yeah,
we
thinking
call
above.
you an average Jeff. You're above average Jeff with bowling.
Yeah, I didn't have when I was in sports in school. Like I love sports, but just kind of tell you how bad I was or not good. When I was a sophomore in high school for basketball, we would play. Like they have the games, right? And then when all the good players go into the locker room to like coach gets them pumped up, they'd have some other kids come out and play a game at halftime.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
That was me.
You were competitive,
was
just not
one of them.
athletic.
Yeah, I was very competitive, but I just
You
wasn't.
didn't have the athleticism behind the competitiveness.
No,
I know.
But I really think I would have done well at bowling.
You could have done really, you definitely could have done
But
good in bowling.
Small town Iowa, there's this,
3-hour practices. I mean, wow. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Awesome. Did you play any other sports?
Yeah.
I played basketball, but from like 6th grade to 10th grade, but I injured my knee, and that was like, all right, I'm done. Because I wanted to bowl in college. I was like, I'm not doing anything to risk that. Like
Right.
I was very cautious about anything I did. Like my mom wouldn't let me go ice skating in case I fell on my wrist and broke them. I was like, we're not trying to hurt the merchandise.
That's so cool that was
yeah.
kind of like your dream always from the beginning. That's really cool.
All right. So we got a few minutes here. Let's kind of talk about we'll start with you, Gwen. So, okay. So first year you're getting to Nebraska. Did you redshirt? Like, how does that all work for the bowling team?
I actually didn't redshirt my freshman year. I was traveling with the team to all the tournaments, and pretty much I forget like one tournament during the spring semester he threw me in. And I was just like, oh, okay, because I was still learning. I was changing my game a little bit, like they're tweaking things here and there, and it was still new to me. I was still trying to get used to it, but I was like, this is kind of hard, and like the nerves would kick in sometimes But then after that, I just felt okay.
Okay. And then how about you, Mara?
I also did not redshirt. Coming in, like, I was bowling really well in all of our scrimmages and, placing in like the top 3, like
Okay.
every scrimmage.
Mhm.
So, and I guess that impressed him, and I traveled, I played a decent bit for a freshman, and yeah, it was my freshman year. It was the greatest experience of my life.
Right in
Awesome.
it.
Loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now-
Is that common to not redshirt as a bowler, or is it kind of just depending on the team? And
I think it depends on the team.
Yeah.
I think for the most part on this team, you'll see more freshmen redshirt than
Mm.
not.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's
Give
good.
them a little time
Mhm.
to
Now,
develop.
when did you two hit it off? Because you're like, I mean, the picture you sent to us was so cute. Like I told Nicole,
Yeah.
I was like, "Isn't this
Yeah.
the cutest picture you've seen?"
Yeah.
I mean, so if you didn't see it, we posted on Facebook and Instagram.
Mhm.
It's just a picture of the two of them. So like, are you best friends? Like, how did you two hit it off? One being from Hawaii, and the other one being from Virginia, which is
Yeah.
about the
Yes.
farthest possible you
Mhm.
could get from
Yeah.
being apart in the United States.
So actually, she went to school with 2 people I also went to school with,
Whoa. Yeah.
and that's how
Wow.
we connected.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yes.
Yeah, because she
Small
asked me
world
one
stuff.
day, she was like, "Oh, do you know Mary Lynn them?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, I do. Like, they're basketball girls, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I was wondering where they went."
It's like that joke that, but then it actually became
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I
like-
know someone else that was in Hawaii. How do you,
Yeah,
did you
and
know them? But
Mary Lynn's actually one of my best friends now, and it's like,
Mhm.
wow, small world. Like,
Yeah.
how'd you know them?
Yeah.
So we hit it off from there, and honestly, us being like the only 2 minorities on the team kind of bonded
Oh,
us.
sure,
Mhm.
sure.
So we would just really hit it off, and we became best friends pretty instantly. Like,
We
we're
did.
pretty inseparable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere I am, she is. Wherever she is,
Legit.
I am. So it's kind of like 2 peas in a pod at this
Yeah.
point.
So how does the competition go? Like when you're out there practicing, is it always competition between the two? Like who's the better bowler?
Mm.
I feel like we're pretty evenly matched.
Mhm.
We like some days she'll get me, some days I'll get her.
Mhm.
So really just depends on the day, the pattern,
Yeah.
Right.
how we're feeling that day.
Yeah.
So
And
That was a very diplomatic answer. Yeah.
it's
Gwen?
honest.
Yeah. No, I know.
Same for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Like, I think that no matter what we do, we kind of help each other, especially during practices. Like, if something's wrong with her, like, I'll put in my 2 cents. If something's wrong with me, she'll put in the 2 cents to see like what we can fix to still be better.
Yeah. And you're on the same team at the end of
Yeah.
the day. So you both want to succeed. So that
Mhm.
probably takes that competition out a little bit.
Let's kind of
aspect.
you have anywhere you want to go here? Because where I'm okay. So let's get into the meets. Are they tournaments? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So
That was the first. We didn't know the verbiage.
we weren't sure on what you call a game, a
Yeah.
meet. Okay. So tournaments. So like the last tournament that you two went to,
Mhm.
where was that at?
That was in Texas.
Yes, it was in Texas.
Mhm.
Okay.
Arlington, Texas, at the International Research and Training Center. Basically where Team USA trains and
Oh,
stuff.
awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was there. Prairie View A&M hosted it, and there was about 12 teams there. 9 of the 12 were in the top 10.
Okay.
So it was pretty tough competition. We led for a good bit of it, but we ended
Yeah.
up placing 3rd.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So how does the typical tournament weekend go for the bowling team?
So typically we travel on Thursday. It could be really early morning. Yeah, it's early mornings.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So pretty much like we get on the bus to go to Omaha, and then after we'll fly. And once we get the cars and land, then we go straight to the bowling alley for our practice session, which is about like 2 hours, I
Mhm.
want to say.
We don't take up to 2 hours though, 'cause
Yeah.
coach just wants to get in, get lined up, figure out your balls, and then so we
Go.
Right,
go
right.
eat and go to bed.
Yeah, because it's already been a long day, so
Mhm.
it's just like, well, we're exhausted, but also hungry because
Right, right.
the last time we probably ate was in the morning during breakfast time in the airport. So we do that, get our rooms, and go to sleep. And then Friday comes, and it's usually like a later morning time.
Yeah, like 10.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. And then that's when we start like our Baker matches. And we do 5 games, 5 matches.
Yep.
On Friday.
And they're total pinfall.
Okay. And that is that individual team, like how does that all work? Like you finished in 3rd, you said, but like how does that, how do you get to that point over the weekend?
Okay, so on Friday, again, it's 5 Baker matches, so that means 5 people bowl within 1 game.
Okay.
And they get 2 frames each.
Okay.
So 1 and 6, 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9, 5 and 10.
And that's the one because you two, you were on ESPN or the Big Ten Network last year.
Last year we were on Big Ten.
Okay. So that was the one that we watched. That's how that works.
Yes.
You had 5 bowlers that went frame 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. Okay. So that was on Friday. And
Yeah.
you did that.
That's total pinfall.
Okay.
And then on Saturday is traditional. So we're all on one team, but
Sure.
we're all bowling our individual games.
Okay.
And that's how you get your all tournament team. So at the end of that, depending on what you average, how many pins you knock down, top 5 get a little trophy.
Okay.
And then Sunday you'll do best 4 out of 7, and that's Baker matches once again.
Okay.
You bowl 3 of those.
Okay.
And if you're within the top 4, you can still win the whole tournament.
Okay. So it's not like you have like a semifinals.
It's not like a bracket or whatever.
Yeah, it's bracket play.
Okay. I wish more of these were on television.
It's just long.
It is very long.
Like days, like maybe like close 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. Because I really liked, well, when I was younger, I always watched like on ABC, they had the Saturday bowling or the Sunday bowling, especially like when football was over. I was like, okay, this is the highlight of the day, So like Walter Ray Williams Jr. was just a name that I remember, and it was like always seemed like very stressful. Like, what's the stress level like for you two, especially in the Baker matches where it's like, okay, you get up, Amara, and you bowl a strike, and then here you come, or you bowl a spare, let's say, and then Gwen, here you come up. So it's like, how does the stress level work because when you're by yourself, is it a little different when it's like you're responsible for you versus like, okay, here I need to follow up this spare with a strike, or how's the stress level? How does that dynamic work?
I think it's about the same, like with the traditional game and Baker matches, because even in traditional games, like I'm not worried about my score. I'm just worried about making the best shot I could do for the whole team.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it is total pinfall, and we need as much pins as we can get to get ahead.
And you need to keep the momentum on your side. So like we're really worried about the pace and how much energy we have. Like we're louder than the other team. So it's just like you got a lot of things running through your mind, but as soon as you step on the approach, it all has to clear.
Yeah.
So like whatever stress I may be feeling, like I may still be anxious on the approach, but it can't be in my mind.
Because I know, like,
that's probably why you were not. You didn't. That was not you. Your anxiety kind of went up as you on your approach, and that's probably why you left those pins all the time.
It was like, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like you get up there and you roll what you're like, this is a perfect ball right here. And it's just bam right in the pocket, and there's 1 pin standing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I would get so so upset. Like I am just getting robbed right now. Like what is happening? Is there a magnet back there holding this 7 pin up? And then I think the most frustrating thing for me was like, then I'd miss the pin.
It's almost harder.
You're almost at a strike, and then you're just like, this is ridiculous.
We have for us, we definitely have to find a way to separate our shots.
Yes.
Try and flip it into a spare mindset because you still need to knock down the pin because this could be the pin that costs you the match.
Yes.
So it's like, let me take my time, go through my routine, and try and make the best shot I can at the spare.
Because we think about like, even though it's our second like shot or like for the spare shot, we always have to think like this is going to be like a best shot again, like our first shot. Like we still have to perform and do it because at the end of the day, we need those pins still.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break. This will be our last break for the hour. When we come back, we want to talk a little Super Bowl with these two ladies to get their opinions and thoughts on the big game today. So we'll be right back with Amara and Gwen here on the Fitness Fanatics.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 right off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 40th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Husker Nation, Amy Williams and Nebraska women's basketball needs you February 18th at p.m. as the Huskers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. We need your help to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena for the first time ever. For event and ticket information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk with your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Husker baseball captain and left-handed pitcher Kyle Perry.
Baseball can be a really humbling game. We battled a few injuries early last year, and the things just didn't fall into place last year, and it sucked. And the guys that are in leadership roles from that 2021 team, I think all of us old guys that were there are definitely bringing that same mindset to practice, bringing that same mindset to that 21 entire roster, and it's really showing just in the way everyone's really going about their business around here.
Weekdays from 1 to 2. 3-7 the ticket, theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
A wise nation honors and learns from its past. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. February is Black History Month, a celebration of the contributions that African Americans have made to American history in their struggles for freedom and equality. Knowledge is our strongest tool against injustice. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. The message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. And unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
To you by Fire and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas difíciles, un día me dijo que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Y la gente que le diga a mí lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo te nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alc.org /nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back. Oh my gosh. What's going on here? All right.
We got some gremlins in the
Little
studio.
microphone just flew off at me
Yeah.
all by itself. I didn't even touch it. All right. Well, welcome
Sure.
back in here to the Fitness Fanatics. We're going to talk a little Super Bowl Sunday here with these
Why
two
are we
ladies.
talking Super Bowl Sunday? But
Now,
that's fine.
we always have a segment,
Okay.
right, with our guests.
Sure.
So we'll kind of tie this in together. Like,
Okay.
we like to find out favorite NFL team and then
And
why
why.
you became a fan of that team.
Yeah.
And then so we'll get to both of you on that, and then we'll talk a little Super Bowl. So Gwen, let's start with you. Favorite NFL team?
I really don't have one, but because I'm a bandwagon sometimes, and I hop on my boyfriend's team,
Okay.
it's gonna have to be Patriots.
Okay. So
Okay.
boyfriend's a Patriots
Yes,
fan.
big Patriots fan.
And how's he doing on the Super Bowl Sunday without the Patriots playing?
I mean, he went to the gym and he didn't get home at 3 a.m., so I think he's fine. I think he just can't wait to eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It is kind of nice sometimes when it takes the pressure off when your team's not in the Super Bowl. And it's like, that was kind of a given. It's not like it was a nail biter if the Patriots were going to get in or not. So,
Yeah,
I mean, they made the playoffs.
I know, but
they made
right.
it,
Yeah.
but they weren't gonna succeed in
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan, and there's been one Super Bowl the Bears, well, two in my lifetime. The first time I was 7, so that really doesn't count. But one Super Bowl, and it was very stressful.
Yeah.
And then I think the Bears just thought, this isn't for us.
This isn't for us.
And my buddy's a big Chiefs fan. One of my best friends, big Chiefs fan. He's been texting me all week. Oh, this is just so stressful. It's like, I don't want to hear it. Okay. I don't want to hear your sob story. Yes, you're stressed out and that type of thing. So Patriots fan. See, that's
Now,
a good.
I do have
oh,
a question
go
though.
ahead.
Is the NFL big in Hawaii?
Yes,
Yeah.
you have a lot of like different teams. You have Raiders because
Oh, yeah.
now they're Vegas and located in Vegas. You have Niners fans. You just have everything. Green Bay fans. So it's just like, well,
Kind of depends on what age you were when you start. Like I like the Packers because when I started watching, really caring about NFL, they were good. So it's probably the same thing.
exactly.
There.
Because
Yeah.
my sister is a Seahawks fan.
Oh, cool.
Too. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
just like everywhere.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Free for all.
Well, and that could be because you said your brother lives in Seattle, right?
Yeah, I think it's just they both liked the Seahawks before my brother even went to Seattle. So it's
Okay.
just like, well, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like most NFL fans, you have your team
Mhm.
and you just like them for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Like me with the Bears. I mean, they're good when I was 7. I thought, oh, this is awesome. The Super Bowl shuffle. Yes, here we go. And then here we are 30 some years later, and I'm still just, they're just bad.
Looking forward to the
So,
draft.
yeah. All right, Amara, what about you being out in Virginia? Are you a Washington fan?
No.
Did your parents? Now, DP is going to be very, that's his.
I'm sorry. No, I'm really not an NFL fan. I'll watch it, but it's because my family is listening, and they're all from Colorado.
Okay.
I'm a Broncos fan.
Okay.
By association.
Love them.
Yeah. They suck this year. I know that.
Yeah.
But it's whatever, Go Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of me too. I like watching football, but the minute it's over, it's like out of my brain. I don't retain anything. It's fun to watch, whatever. But yeah, I don't keep that stuff in my head.
So so got the Super Bowl today. Are you two going to be watching the Super Bowl? You got any Super Bowl get-togethers you're going to later today?
Possibility that we will be going to one of our teammates' houses.
Okay.
We were talking about it last night, so there's potential there. Not entirely sure.
Let me know later.
I'll let you know. Or we were also talking about going to like a restaurant, just watching it there.
Well, now you know that the Ticket is having a big party at Buffalo Wings and Rings.
I did not know that.
Right,
Really?
Harrison, where is that one on O Street?
Wait, is there going to be free wings?
Oh, not free.
No, not free.
Harrison doesn't want to just to speak on that.
Well, he doesn't have a microphone either.
Yeah, he doesn't have a microphone.
Right.
That's probably good.
Right.
Yeah.
So see, you could go down to Buffalo Wings and Rings and hang out with the Ticket crew.
You're right.
That is true.
Yeah.
Do
I don't
like them.
What's that?
I do like the ticket.
Yeah,
crew.
you do like them.
Mhm.
So I don't know who's all going to be out there. So everybody's going to be out there. Okay. So we're just going to be at home. Like we were invited to go somewhere, and our kids. We have. This makes us sound old, but we have almost 20-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old, and they're just like, well, we just want to stay home and watch it as a family and stuff. So we're just going to be home today, watching the Super Bowl. So because our daughter just wants to have our own commentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Like she doesn't, and I've never.
They're big. They are big NFL fans. You and
Yeah.
the kids both. So
Yeah, they are.
Ben, our son, is 16, and he is a talker, and so he would never stop talking about stats and everything. So it's better to just keep him home, probably.
Well, and I'm not a big somebody that likes to watch games with a lot of people.
Yeah, I like that too.
I just like to do it because I like to talk trash.
Yeah.
Now you talk a trash. So yeah, and you told me earlier you're cheering for Philly today, right?
I'll
Because
go for it, yeah.
East Coast. Well, and if your family's Denver fans, they can't really be cheering for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right.
You're cheering by proxy against the Chiefs immediately. Yeah.
So I wonder if, and then who are you going to cheer for, Gwen?
I'm just gonna cheer.
You just it's like that shirt that says
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need the shirt that says I just hope both teams have fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
That is the best football shirt, I think.
Are you big into the commercials? Like, do you like watching the Super Bowl commercials?
When I was younger, yes, I was.
I feel like they've kind of
They
gone
have.
down in quality
I
over
know.
the years, but
We're
yeah,
really
I enjoy them.
in our house. We're really hoping for a good Burger King commercial, because they've been hitting that Whopper commercial so hard. So that's what if we were going to place a bet, that's our bet. Those progressive commercials are pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll bring out some big guns.
I don't remember any commercials. I remember all the games, but I'm just like, usually for me, like the commercial time is time for my brain to decompress. Like I need to be just quiet, relax.
I'm just ready to watch
yeah.
Rihanna.
Me too.
The halftime show is going to be
That's
good.
all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah. Do you know a Rihanna song?
Okay.
Jeffrey?
I'm sure I'll recognize. Like I know a lot of songs, I just don't know who sings all of them, right? So I'm sure when I'm sure I'll recognize some of the songs. But
You will. You 100%
right.
will. You're
But do
just not a very pop culture
I'm not
person at all.
I'm
Not at
I'm-
all.
As a Nebraska
Yeah.
fan, I'm stuck in like the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
With everything in my life.
She was
It's okay.
very young
Sports, music.
in
But
the 80s.
we'll see if this can top last year's, which I don't think will ever be topped. Because
Last year's was
Super Bowl
pretty great.
halftime, that was
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
Dr.
yeah.
that was like
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
oh, that was
Eminem,
just
that was a good one.
that was that
That
was
was
so
good.
awesome. So awesome.
That was a good halftime show.
My favorite one was technically Coldplay, but Beyonce took it over.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't it both Beyonce and Bruno Mars that
yes,
took it over?
that was
I
my
only
favorite.
remember Beyonce from that.
Literally.
Yeah, that's the
why I
only
say
one I
it's
remember.
Beyonce.
Yeah, I would not have even known that she wasn't like the
The
show.
headliner.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Do you even remember? You don't even remember that one, Jeff. We watched that one with Josh, and we watched Super Bowl with the Henrys. And
Now see,
yeah,
I remember what Super
Yeah.
Bowl we watched with them. It
Yeah.
was Denver and Carolina.
okay. You say
You don't remember. I
No.
remember what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the halftime.
Yeah. Nope, that was
But
Beyonce.
I'm here for the halftime shows. That's
Mhm.
all.
Halftime shows, commercial, and the food, right?
Yeah.
So you got to
Oh,
hit
yeah.
up a good Super Bowl
Yes.
party. That
Kayla
has
said she's
food.
making meatballs.
Meatballs are a good one.
I love
Yeah.
and buffalo chicken dip. Someone's making that, I believe.
Mm.
So
There we go.
Are we going back to Alexis's or are we
I
gonna
think-
go into the house?
I think we're going to the house for more room.
Oh, okay. That's nice because I can take a nap.
Yes. Yes, we could.
Oh yes, I'm definitely be taking a nap later today
Yes.
too
Mhm.
because it's gonna get over at what 9 o'clock.
I might not stay up. We'll see.
Hopefully it's an entertaining
If
game.
it is
Yes.
remotely gonna go into overtime or anything, I don't stay up. I'm not trying to be tired tomorrow just because of football. So
It's the last football game
Of the
until
season.
August.
the outcome of the game will not change if I'm watching it or not. It's going to be the same outcome either way.
That is true.
That's my motto.
Now our Sundays are gonna be boring. That's why we need bowling to be on. because we need to
We
watch
would
some
totally
Nebraska
watch
bowling.
bowling. I feel like bowling would be a great just to have it on in the background and do some get some stuff done around the house, and then you could just pick it up, right? Like that'd be a great Sunday sport to
Well,
watch on
bowling is
TV.
on. It's just not. I'd rather watch the Nebraska bowling.
Well, of course, yeah.
I think
So-
I like college bowling more than I like the professional bowling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Oh, yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was about to
Go
say,
ahead.
it's because like now, like the PBA, they're trying to put more like entertainment in it, and I just feel like it's just so forced sometimes.
We don't need more entertainment. We just need to watch the bowler hit the strike, right?
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
celebrate a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could handle the screaming while I bowl, like how they are nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be probably hard to tune out.
So the last time I don't remember. I remember like once the bowler releases the ball, that's when people get in uproars. Or now is it just before then?
Yeah, isn't it before?
I have not watched a professional telecast
Mm-hmm.
in years.
What is
so
it
I
with
don't
like when you two are bowling? Like how's the crowd there?
I think it's just white noise at the
Yeah,
point.
because like it's
Mhm.
constantly going because there's a bunch of teams and like
Mhm.
they're doing their thing and like
Oh,
they have
sure.
their own cheers and the
Yeah.
crowd has their thing. But typically, it's fairly quiet.
In your area.
Yeah, in our area. And then once you throw it, we're all cheering for the ball.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
Husker power.
And then it's like, "Woo, okay,
Yeah.
next bowler.
Yeah.
Next. Yeah.
After it's like okay, that was fun. Now back to business.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break here. Last one for the hour. And then when we get to the top of the hour, we're going to talk a little practice and see what a typical week looks like for these two ladies. So we'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket with the Fitness Fanatics.
Listen up, guys. Valentine's Day is almost here, and it's 3rd and goal, and we need a touch, not a field goal. You need a personal florist so you don't drop the ball. And Petal Creations can be the MVP for you this year by helping you impress the lady in your life with a heart box of love and roses. Trust me on this one. This play call will result in a touchdown. Call Petal Creations today to reserve your flowers at 402-423-6500 or go to petalcreations.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends, but just to get to eat? Or a retiree who felt ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
How was your drive to school?
I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and
Let's try it again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopText.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Message is for Karina. Our mom will finish her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers, brought to you by the General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
Now it's our turn.
Join us at WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Beep, beep, beep. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my back.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tapping away at his telegraph. Wind ran right aside of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I wanted to quit for so long, but didn't know where to start.
What people would think. But then I found the right support to start my recovery. 1 in 14 Americans reports experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A wise nation honors and learns from its past. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. February is Black History Month, a celebration of the contributions that African Americans have made to American history in their struggles for freedom and equality. Knowledge is our strongest tool against injustice. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome back in here. Top of the hour on the Fitness Fanatics. We're joined in studio by Gwen and Amara of the women's bowling team for Nebraska. We got one more segment left with these ladies, and they got to take off. So we want to get back to a little bit about the ins and outs of being a college bowler. So, Amara, we'll start with you. What does a typical week look like for practice, and how does a practice go? Because I think, for the normal average sports fan, you think of football practice and basketball practice, because a lot of us played those sports, growing up, or baseball, and so it's like for bowling practice, you practice picking up spares, like 7-pin spare, the 10-pin spare. That how does that all work in a practice for you two?
Okay, so I'll kind of just explain what we do now.
Okay.
So now our typical week will have 2 individual practices, just one-on-one time with us and the coaches. Mine are usually Monday and Friday or Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
And that's where you work on like your physical game. And coach really has the time to like zone in on you because it's hard for him to, spread his time evenly in a group practice. And, you get that time for an hour and you're out. And then for team practice, the first hour will usually still be, working on your game or, trying to get a certain number of pocket marks in a row or maybe just all together. Like sometimes we'll do like, okay, your goal is 15 pocket marks.
What does that mean?
That means hit the pocket, either leave like a 4-7 or just 7-pin or a 4-pin, 10-pin, 9-pin, 8-pin. Just
So you're trying to leave those like
no,
okay.
you're trying to strike.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
you're
sure.
just trying to hit the pocket.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
trying to make
Okay.
good shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pick up your spares. So that's your goal. You'll do that for about an hour. And then for the next hour, we'll work on spares. And we do like different things. Sometimes we'll do a gauntlet. So across our 6 lanes, we'll set up different spares. And you have to get
Ooh.
through all 6 lanes without missing.
Okay.
And if you miss, you go back to lane 1.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that. Or we will do we'll set up a certain spare, let's say like a 10-pin, and you're in a like doubles pair. So as a pair, you need to make the 10-pin 10 times in a row. And there's 5 groups too.
Okay.
So when 3 groups are done, like they succeeded, the remaining groups, you can't miss again. If you miss again, you have to shoot that spare the next day.
Okay.
And then what's another thing we do?
Like spare wise?
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, or like I know we're doing
when you
team
come
gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll do a team gauntlet. You'll set up 3 different spares on 1 through 3 or 6 through 4, and you're trying to make them and get to lane 3 and get your whole team through the gauntlet.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's fun. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's stressful depending on how we broke the lane down.
Right.
Yeah.
And it gets a little tricky there, but it's worthwhile in the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
So
What is the bowling season? Like what does that like how long is it? When does it start? When does it end?
October to April.
Okay.
So it's very
That's a
long.
long
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
But we'll start practicing in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
how often do you have tournaments?
We'll have like 4. We have
3 in the
Well, this
fall?
time we had 4.
Oh, yeah.
We had 4 this past fall, and they're usually like 1 to 2 weeks spread in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 5 this semester.
Wow.
And some were back to back, or we have a week or a couple weeks in between them. So, yeah, it really just depends what weekend they fall on. But it's just very long.
It's a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's the coolest place that you have went to for a tournament?
Vegas.
Okay.
Yes, Vegas for sure.
Okay.
And where
okay.
where was that tournament? Like
South Point.
Okay.
And what was that? Was that like where the national championships are? Or is that just a tournament and it's a regular tournament?
It's just a regular tournament. A school out in Maryland actually hosts it.
Okay.
And
Right after winter break.
It's right. Yeah, right after winter break and right
nice.
after Team USA trials.
Okay. Now, so maybe you can talk the Nebraska coaches into hosting a tournament in Hawaii.
Actually, they already have a talk about that.
Ooh.
That they wanted to host one, and they're wondering if I knew any of the bowling alley people or management.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. So hopefully they can pull through. It would be fun for a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
But also it's gonna be pricey.
It's gonna be quite expensive.
It's gonna be very pricey.
They'll be all right, I think.
Exactly.
So yeah, that'd be like kind of you'd have like the home turf advantage.
Yeah,
Maybe,
but I'll
maybe
be
not.
I'll
Yeah.
be done. by
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Before this actually happens, I'll be gone. I'll be living back in Hawaii for sure.
Okay.
Well, and then that was also something I was curious about. So, like, what are your guys' plans after? Like, what are your majors? What are you planning on doing after, college?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm majoring in psychology and ethnic studies with a minor in child, youth, and family studies. I my plan is to go to grad school for marriage and family therapy. I actually just had my interview for that this past Friday.
Okay.
Very cool.
So I'm hoping to get in. I
Yeah.
applied here, so
Oh,
trying to stay
cool.
here.
Yeah.
And after that, I just want to be a marriage and family therapist. But if I don't get in, I'm gonna try and find a job in Lincoln, and then apply again.
Cool.
Maybe you can sit down with us and do some
Maybe.
marriage counseling for me and you.
Maybe.
We're almost 25 years for us.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Coming up
That's
in
great.
June. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's been a long 25
Shut
years.
up.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. All right, Gwen. What about you, Gwen?
I'm majoring in child, youth, and family studies with a minor in psychology and education. I plan on moving back home after I graduate, and I kind of want to work with children. I'm kind of open to anything like daycare, being a family specialist, like anything that works with children. I'm really down for that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to. Oh, did you have any other questions?
No, I just that's
Okay,
that's
so
cool.
I wanted to talk.
There's life after college
Yes, life
sports,
after college.
Yeah.
There
Mhm.
is.
Mhm. For most people, I think yes.
So I want to talk a little intricacies of the game of, or the sport of bowling, because when I first started bowling, not professionally, obviously, in leagues, I was just, you didn't really know. You look at a lane and you like see all these arrows, and you're just like, what are these out here for? Because the average person, when they go bowling for fun or whatever, you just throw it as hard as you can, try to hit the head pin, and hope something good
Or
happens.
try to not go in the gutter.
Try to
That's me.
try to not go in the gutter.
I know.
Yes,
Not very good at
but
bowling.
it's very like in depth of like where you stand, like how to pick up spares, like
Or even your throw. Like, how do you decide how you throw curves and all that stuff? Like, how does that develop?
yeah. So Mara, let's start with you. Like, what type of ball are you throwing or rolling, or what's the term for it? Rolling, throwing.
Throwing.
Okay. Okay.
Depends on depends on the pattern.
You right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the pattern. Usually we'll start out with like a benchmark ball, which for me,
Idle Cosmos.
yeah, Idle Cosmos. It's just something that gives me like a consistent reaction that I can gauge whether I need to go to a stronger ball or a weaker ball. And usually like trying to figure out where you stand is when you look at like a lane graph that tells you what the pattern is, and you're looking at how many milliliters of oil are on the lane, how long the oil pattern is, how much is being how much is going down, how much is coming in reverse.
So how is that determined? Like, does just the lane
This is
determine
some
that?
technology
I know.
going
Or
on
is
here.
it like the host?
Yeah, they determine what the pattern is.
The host of the
yeah,
tournament?
Yeah, they come up with that.
Interesting.
Whatever. And then like you have to figure out how old like the lane surface is at the place you go to, what kind of lane surface it is, and that tells you like, all right, well, I'm gonna play here and try to get it here down lane and hope for the best.
This is more in depth than I even thought.
No, it is very.
Like, this is crazy.
Look, you could look how much better you could have done if you would have known all this information.
I knew
It's
the
fine.
I knew the boards, and like, so let's say you throw your first ball, hits the pocket, and you leave the 7 pin. So how do you determine where to move, where to stand to aim for that?
Yeah.
Again, depends on the pattern. Like for coach, he tells us you can. He's like more open to like the way we shoot spares, but it has to be like scientific. You need to like think about it in a way that makes sense, because you still need to go up there and execute a good shot.
Right.
And for me, I still throw my strike ball at it, and that can be anywhere between like 6 to 8 boards right of where I am to strike.
Okay. Yep.
And then I walk towards it and try to aim that way. So, and Gwen,
I use my spare ball.
Yeah, she uses her spare ball. She has a completely different approach to it.
Yeah.
But
So what's your approach to that?
For me, it's usually like a square ball, and then I kind of stand on board 18, and then I walk towards the pin.
Okay.
Too. But then if it's like duck hooking into the pin,
Gutter.
gutter, then I have to move right.
What's
some more.
a duck hook? into the gutter mean?
Yeah, it just hooks.
Just-
Yeah, it just
okay.
goes.
It just takes off.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah,
Okay.
it just goes. So it really depends on like the lane too again, because if sometimes like your ball will go down and it would hook a lot, or it will just skid. So that
not do
those
anything.
movements are gonna change too.
Just
And
it just
how-
slides. Where you're
Mhm.
like, why isn't this turning right
Yeah.
now?
So then that's when you would move left, or I would move left.
How long does it take you to kind of get that down? Is that what like the practice is for ahead of
Yeah.
time? Just kind of get a feel, make sure
Mhm.
it's like lining up with the information that you have and stuff like
Yes.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
So the
it's-
coaches give you that info, like let's say you go to, well, you're going to the last tournament you went to was in Texas.
Mhm.
So you get like, like the football players are like, all right, here's the scouting report of the offense that you're going up against. You get like a scouting report of the lanes, or do you have to figure that out as you're practicing?
Yeah, you get the pattern
Okay.
10 days in advance.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's
And
so
then
cool.
we'll like talk about it and try to figure out what balls we should take,
Mhm.
what our arsenals should look like, and
He would look at his notes from the previous years.
'cause he has very
Yeah.
detailed notes
Mhm.
from day to day, what each girl threw that day, where they were standing, what was going on.
This is so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, you
Yeah.
you don't think of all that stuff that goes into that.
It's a lot.
So then you have to study, right? You're like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes our practices are actually like classroom sessions. So he's teaching us more about bowling, like different balls, whether like symmetrical, asymmetrical, pro cover stock, solid, hybrid, all this kind of stuff. Just so
Urethanes.
urethane. So we just have all this knowledge and try to put that to use.
Yeah.
That's
It's a lot.
that is a lot.
I
Yes,
know.
it seems
That's
very well. And then so like you could have everything in your back pocket. You just know everything. And then you go to throw that ball and it comes off your hand and you're like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Because you still have to execute, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's why he tries to make sure we're like execution machines.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, you have to be execution machines to win the national championship.
Yes, you do.
Right? Because I'm not stepping up there and winning the national championship.
No.
Right? Because I could bowl, I think my highest game ever was like 247. It's like my highest. But then like I averaged in like 170. And then there'd be times where I'd bowl like a 110. Right? So you just because
it was probably because of the lane patterns. Like you just didn't know.
I think so. Like I didn't know the oil thickness and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, and then we learn there's different types of
Oils, yeah.
and how thick they are and how much traction you gain on one thing. It's just like
Now, when
so
you were
much.
like growing up and doing leagues and stuff, is that stuff that you guys learned then, or
No.
because that was just like hometown, just show up and do it? Yeah,
Like they tried to teach us all this stuff.
yeah.
But
But you couldn't
also-
apply it.
Also, the coaches back home, like they're great and everything, and they got me to where I am.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think there was enough access to all that. knowledge.
Sure, yeah, because it's
So-
more for fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it was. I didn't really learn that much about the game and like the intricacies until really I got here, and then it's like, wow, there's so much more to learn.
That's such a different dynamic too from a coaching standpoint, because the coaches are recruiting you guys, but knowing that they're kind of you have the foundation, but they're basically going to be building you up from so that's a big coaching standpoint. That's pretty tough probably to be able to see that potential and know kind of who to go after and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
but definitely like nowadays, like the youth now, they have
Wow.
So much
many-
knowledge.
Kids these days.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many opportunities. Like they know way more than I knew when I was their age.
Yeah, that's cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
What's the home turf bowling lanes here in Lincoln? When people come here to take you on.
It is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just down the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just right down
Yeah.
on 48th.
Yep.
Okay, is that where when the Big Ten Network was here? Is that where that was? Okay, so do you feel like you have a home lane advantage because like, hey, we know
For sure.
these lane alleys like the back of our hand.
Yeah, I mean, we do practice there, not a lot, but we practice more when it's starting to get closer to our Big Red Invite, so we can get that hand on, or the upper hand on the teams.
When is the Big Red Invite?
March 2nd through the 5th.
Okay, Okay, now
That's
and
easy to
at-
remember.
Well, the second is our practice session.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the third through the 5th.
Yeah.
That's at the Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know something? I might have to go check this out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
That's
that would
awesome.
be awesome.
Now you have a little inside information to how the whole
Yes.
process goes.
Yes.
I know.
So I can be rowdy and be like, yeah, scream, and when other bowlers are bowling, can I just be like, come here?
No. You have to be respectful.
That's right. Yeah.
No, that sounds
Good.
really cool. I'm gonna have to look into that and
Yeah.
go and support you too, because I think that would be. I've never been to like, I mean I bowled obviously, but I've never been to one.
Yeah, I don't think you. I mean, how have you ever? I was spectated a lot whenever you were in your bowling.
Yeah,
leagues.
when we first started
Yeah.
dating, way back in 96,
Yep.
97, way back. I was in a bowling league then, and I was like 18-year-old kid, and
with all older people.
and I bowled with a bunch of older people.
Which
'cause
they
I-
were probably younger than we are now.
they were younger, but they were old when I was 18.
No.
Yeah, so like we bowled on Friday nights, and Nicole would come out and watch.
Yeah.
And they'd play cards, and you know.
Yep.
So that was their
Exciting Fridays.
Exciting Friday nights at Plaza Lanes out
Mhm.
in Des Moines, which no Plaza Lanes doesn't exist anymore. But so that's kind of what we did when we first started dating. Was I bowled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
date
It's a
night.
fun game. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it is so,
Bowling is fun
I'd
to
always
watch
get so
and play.
frustrated, just like, and I'm sure you two get that way too. Like it seems like,
We'll just have like an off day. You know,
Yes,
I'm
like-
sure you guys have that too, where
Oh,
just like
yes.
nothing is going the way that we can't figure it out. Is it you? Is it the you know? Yeah.
That's why we travel with 8 people.
Yeah.
So,
it's always the lanes.
yeah.
It's never you. Come on, now.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just remember being so frustrated. Like, and, you know, you bowl and you. I mean, obviously, you're doing this on a bigger scale than just us on a Friday night at Plaza Lanes, and everybody's drinking. And I mean, I think the reason my dad and our team did so well is because we didn't drink.
Yeah.
So, like by the third game, like everybody was drunk, and we just. I mean, we just plowed right through them. Like game 3.
Yeah.
So no, that March 3rd. Yeah, our daughter turns 20 on March 2nd.
Yeah.
So it's
So that'll be
easy to remember.
Yeah.
Well, tell us. We got
come
about a few more minutes with you. Tell us about your show, because you two have a show on the ticket.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So we are on on Monday nights, and it kind of ranges sometimes, but it's called In the Pocket. And I don't know.
We talk about
everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah, we usually bring in, I guess, like our teammates just so you guys can all see like who we're rocking with and what's going on. The other week we brought on our SID who like controls our social media stuff, and people got to know him a little bit, and that was fun.
We brought in our coaches like the first like couple months we were here. And we also just kind of talk about our lives, our breaks, and our upcoming tournaments that we're having. And
yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Awesome.
it's so cool what you know what DP and Rebecca have done with the station, and having the student athletes come in and get to know you, and instead of just like, oh, this person's just a number on the scoreboard. You know, like, so it's just been really cool to get to know everybody, and we appreciate anything else you want to add here before you take off.
What's coming up next?
Yeah,
Like, what
what's the
tournaments
next
do you guys have
tournament you have?
next?
We're traveling to Arkansas.
Yeah, on
this
Thursday.
week. On
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
On a private jet.
Yes.
Oh.
This is the first time ever.
Awesome.
Yes.
for us.
Probably nothing closer to get you there. Is that why, or is that just
No, the athletics department reached out to our coach saying that they still had like flights that they had to use, and
Oh,
asked if
nice.
we wanted to use them.
Yeah.
And we said, yeah,
You're like,
absolutely.
of course.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Yes. And so it's nice because one, we don't have to wake up early, and
Yeah.
two, we're not coming back late on Sunday.
Yeah. You're on your own schedule.
Yes.
Which is nice. Yeah.
It's super nice.
Exciting. And then you guys are second. We're ranked
third.
third.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Third.
Okay.
What's that going to look like for you here going forward? Like, how do you advance in the rankings, but just doing well in the tournaments and
Yeah, just doing well in tournaments, and trying to beat as many top ranked
Yes.
opponents as we can. So yeah, just kind of continuing the track we're on. We're going up each and every week.
Good.
So
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
it's interesting to see, like, because some of the, like, because I just pulled up I thought I had the most current standings, and like the college that's number one is like, you've never heard of this college before.
Yeah. Number one
Who's-
is
they're really
McKendree.
good.
Right. So
Mhm.
it's like McKendree, like, you're like,
Yeah.
Who are they? Where are they?
Yes.
Like, how does McKendree become like this bowling powerhouse? It's just kind of weird like that.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
coaches are good.
Yeah.
You got like she's multiple time player of the year for PWA, and then you have a Team USA coach.
Wow.
So they're
Mhm.
really good at recruiting. Their girls
Mhm.
are great. So
Mhm.
yeah, over the years they've recruited a lot of the top talent in the
Yeah.
country, and they've just been able to build on that.
Now, where are they out of? Like,
They're it's Lebanon, Illinois,
Oh,
like
Okay.
Southern Illinois, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually went on an official visit there.
Oh,
yeah.
You said beat it. I'm not going there.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was this
This
the-
was it.
It was the Nebraska.
Yes, the
This isn't
University of
McKendree. We're not
Nebraska.
going there.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Lincoln.
Awesome.
Well,
Good.
thank you
Yeah.
very much. Again, they have their own show on Monday nights called In the Pocket. So please check them out. If you can actually go back and get caught up on their shows. Theticketfm.com under student athletes now have their own link on there, so you can go find all the student athlete shows. So check them out, get to know them. We'll let you two get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good luck.
And we will
be keeping an eye on everything.
yep,
That's
and
going.
maybe you'll see me in a month.
Probably, I'll be there too.
Oh, it'll be great. It'll be great. I bet Ben would like to go also.
Yeah, Ben would want to go too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank
Awesome.
you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on the Fitness Fanatics.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Hey, you got any gum? Yeah, check my back. What's this? Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get, and it's easy to use.
I definitely will.
Thanks. Paid for by the CDC. Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
8 Big Ten running backs in their top 25 returning in 24/7 sports. You can certainly argue that Anthony Grant could be in there. Nobody would bat an eye.
That's just because the Iowa running back ended the season on a higher note. I don't care about the end of the season. Look at the entire season. Anthony Grant had a great season.
The good news for Nebraska is if Anthony Grant does fall off, A.J. Allen looks like he's going to be there. And then you have Ramir Johnson, who led the team in rushing 2 years ago. And
Gabe Irvin, who was your starter 2 years ago.
So, I mean, they've got a great room.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school and to do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in here to the Fitness Fanatics. Again, so appreciative of Glenn and Amara coming in from the women's bowling team. I'm super pumped about going to this Big Red Invitational.
You should ask Mike about this too, because he never talked anything. Maybe that wasn't really a thing whenever he was in bowling for college.
Well, I never would have thought to talk to him about lane conditions. Well, I knew I've heard lane conditions,
right?
But I didn't know how in depth.
Yeah,
this
I
is.
talk to him about it.
So no, I will. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to have them listen to our podcast. And
Well,
so,
there's wear and tear on there too, which we didn't even have enough time to get into that. But
How it goes.
as they will all obviously that oil you're wearing it off, and then you can kind of see the weak spots starting to form, and they have to. It's crazy.
Navigate.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yep,
just
cool.
it's pretty awesome.
It takes a trained eye. I wouldn't be able to see it at all, obviously, because I've never.
Well, that's
noticed
why
it.
we're not professional bowlers.
Yeah,
Right.
good point.
All right. Well, so we have a couple segments left here.
We're kind of running backwards today on the show. Oh, we didn't get a picture.
Oh, we
wow.
didn't get a Harrison.
It's not Harrison's fault.
We did not get a picture.
All right. Oh well.
But you can always get them back, or you can you can always show up for their show. Who knows?
We're sleeping
Some sort of
during their
crossover.
show.
At 9 o'clock,
That's true.
we are in bed.
I am not trying to
Right.
be outside the house. No, it's fine.
You'll meet him. Hey, if they're at the Super Bowl thing, never know.
Well, I won't be there.
Oh, you guys aren't going to that? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just got to get up so early.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are.
Well, we'll be up. We just our kids really want to watch it together.
Yeah.
Fair.
So we don't want to leave them at home.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right.
So you've got super big NFL fans in your house.
Football's been like a weekly family event this year. So
Yes,
we're gonna
most
keep
parents know when you can get your 16-year-old and your 19-year-old
in the same room.
in the same room for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours on
Yeah.
a Sunday. You take it.
That's a really good point.
Because sometimes, well, and hopefully when they get older and they move out and they have their own families, that we can still have our. Well, it's funny because when they move out, they're not going to have the Sunday ticket like mom and dad have.
Yeah.
So
That's
watch
how we'll
their
try to
teams.
get 'em.
Yeah, that's how we'll lure
Well,
them
they're
back to
doing
our
the
house.
Sunday ticket anymore.
Well, they are. It's just on a different platform now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, so I'm signed up for a couple half marathons, one in May, one in June, and I did my first training run yesterday.
Involuntarily.
Involuntary training run. So we have this little dog. It's an Alaskan Klekai. She's about she'll be 10 here at the end of this year. And Klekais are kind of like miniature huskies. Huskies, Malamutes, Klekais, they're all in the same family.
Like a medium-sized dog.
She's little.
Like little. Oh,
like
okay.
she's probably like this.
She
tall.
should be 10 pounds, but she's probably closer to like 17 now.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
a little chunky.
Okay, yeah, she's a little chunky. Well, anyway, so for that dog, but they're like, my brother has a Malamute, and the Malamute and Paige, even though they're like 150 pounds different, they look identical.
Yeah, it's
as far as
crazy.
their hair patterns on their back and stuff. So, but anyway, so yesterday I get home, and so when we let Paige outside in the back, she has to be on a harness. Even though our yard is fenced, they're like escape artists. Huskies, Malamutes, Klekais are all escape artists, so they look to get ways out. So we have to put her on a harness. So yesterday, and we've always kind of joked like, if the dog ever gets out, she's probably going to get hit by a car because she has no street smarts whatsoever.
No
She's
awareness,
just
no.
be off and going.
Yeah.
And there was one time she got out in Lincoln when we first moved here, and she got out of her harness somehow. And I remember,
And then escaped the fenced yard. This is our first house, but we had a fenced yard there too.
There was like a little hole, and so I remember opening the back door, and I just saw the harness laying on the ground.
Worst feeling.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So I was just home by myself. I went out, and fortunately, there was a cat, like a big black cat that just kind of roamed the neighborhood. It lived across the street. And so I saw
it was huge, almost as big as Paige.
it
Though
was
we
double
called it
Paige's
we
size.
called it Panther Cat because it literally looked like a
Yeah, it looked
that
like-
Black Panther.
yes.
It was a sweet cat though, super sweet cat.
Yeah, so the cat, kind of roamed the neighborhood. So fortunately for us, the cat stopped Paige dead in her tracks. Like Paige was stopped
Out of
across
fear?
the-
Out of
they were staring each other down.
and she was kind of had the side eye, like, I don't want to move. I'm really scared of this
Yeah,
cat.
yeah.
And I just walked up and picked her up. Walked across and just picked the dog up.
Did you thank the cat? That thing.
Oh yeah, we
That's
said yes.
incredible.
Yeah.
But
Panther Cat saved Paige.
Because Paige, I mean, she just run out in the middle of the street.
We
and
lived
probably
like
get-
a block off of 70th at that point.
Yeah,
So it was
70th and Old Cheney.
Yeah, the block off of
Oh,
two
man.
busy streets. And now we live a block off of 56th and Pioneer. So we live right off of like two busy streets too. So
Yes, literally, she
yeah.
would get hit by a car.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I go to take the trash out, and I went out the front door, and we've lived in this house for 4 years. Oh, yeah, 4 years, 4.5. Well, a little over 4 years. So for almost 5.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Well,
Nobody
whatever.
cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. Okay, so anyway, I go at the front door, and I'm going to take the trash out, and I look over, and the dog ran out the front door.
Which she's never done before.
Never
either.
done in 4 years we've been there. And I was in my socks, and I'm like, you just kind of have that feeling like, what? Oh my gosh, how did this happen?
Do you have like any chance of catching up to it on foot?
Well,
Or her?
yeah.
So Harrison, did you grow up with dogs at all?
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about with the escape artist. My roommate had a husky.
Yeah.
And it would just clear the fence.
Oh yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
just straight athleticism. And then that's just a head scratcher.
Yeah.
So like
What do you
make
do?
a taller fence? Like,
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's worrisome.
Jeff's had a history of one time he had to chase after his childhood dog, Casey. And in midst,
Couple times.
midst of chasing after her, you lost your car keys and then had to
I
like
did.
retrace your whole steps trying to find her.
Yeah,
But yeah, find your
chasing-
keys.
Yeah. So I ran it, and it was funny. The kids were there, and
I wasn't there,
And
thank
I always
goodness.
joke about this dog because
People
she's
who
just a-
know, he's always trying to get rid of her.
she's just a pain
To other
right?
people.
I mean, but anyway.
She has seizures, so she needs medicine every 8 hours. She's kind of a pain in the butt dog, but
But
it's not
she's-
her fault.
I know she's almost 10, so she's a little bit older.
She's cute.
Yeah. So anyway, I ran inside and I was like, "Your stupid dog ran out the front door." So I got my tennis shoes on, and off I went. And the dog is running down the sidewalk, just boom, 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 like she's just, I'm free, and she runs across the street. Of course,
Not
does-
across the busy
not at the busy
Oh,
street,
okay,
just a
good.
side street.
Thank
There, we
goodness.
live in Colonial Hills. Across the side street, she's just trucking right along. She stopped in these little weeds where she was sniffing. So I got caught up. I was like, "Paige, come here." And it's funny. Somebody just posted a meme. I can't remember who posted this about how their dog, their husky, can't hear them. Or
Yeah.
they like, you can't hear your owner calling your name.
brother, Rod.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
brother, because he has the Malamute. They can't hear you calling them from 5 feet away, like Paige, but they can hear a bag of chips opening through 4 different walls in the house.
Yeah.
And oh, here they come to get fed.
Yeah.
So I'm hollering at her.
Selective
Yeah.
listening.
So I'm running.
Oh yeah.
To get her, and she stopped to sniff, and I got a little caught up, and then there she goes, just. And so I started to pick up my pace a little bit, and fortunately, the good thing about having a dog that is overweight and out of shape is that she slows down. And so, fortunately, I kind of turned on the afterburners for me.
You're playing the long game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was kind of just staying with her, and as she slowed down, I sped up, and I picked her up, and her heart was just
How far did she get? 2
probably
blocks?
a couple blocks,
Okay.
maybe 3 blocks. And
Which way did she turn from where she was sniffing? Because I wasn't home.
she just went straight.
Well, that's not even 3 blocks then to the
Yeah,
next
not
street.
quite 3 blocks.
Yeah. Okay.
But she slowed down.
Did you pick her up at that like intersection, the T of the
She was
next one?
almost to the T.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she was almost at
That's
the
not
dead
even.
end.
That's not even 2 blocks.
Well, yes. So there's a good news about not walking your dogs all the time, because if she would have been like,
even walking, she doesn't run. So
no,
So you ran a block and a half.
up 2 blocks, I would say.
It's not even 2 blocks. We're the half of the block and then
And
one
it
other
wasn't.
block.
I mean, I sprinted some of this.
And
Like
you
it was
complained about having a runner's cough for the rest of the day.
I did. I mean, you get that cough where you're just like you can't breathe
Yeah,
hardly.
tightness.
That's what I was feeling. But you always hear like AD always says, "I'm not going to run unless a dog's chasing me." And then you always think like, what if somebody was chasing me? Like,
how? Yeah.
Could that just like survival mode kick in?
I think so. Absolutely.
Fight or flight. How
And
far
right.
could you go?
How far could you just sprint if somebody was chasing you? Well, that's how I felt chasing this dog yesterday.
Yeah,
Like,
we know Paige can go a block and a half.
I gotta get her. I got to catch up. And I picked her up, and she's out of breath, heart's just racing 100 miles an hour. And then I just carried her back to the house.
You probably could have kept going. That's something my coaches would always say.
Yeah.
Like every time everyone's tired, he's just like, "You're not tired. If I was behind you with a cattle prod, you'd keep running."
That is
Like,
true.
You always got more in the tank.
Yep.
But I was winded. It was.
Are you sore today? Or your shin sore?
No, I'm not sore. I'm not sore.
For the Husky, we had no chance. You can imagine the
Yeah.
Husky. We had no chance.
Well, yeah, because they have. I mean, Paige has short, tiny little legs too. Like she can only go so fast.
So we had to
but-
play like mind games with the dog's name was Shadow at the time,
Mhm.
and we had to play mind games, thinking like, "Oh no, this is fine that you're outside.
Yeah.
That we're just playing a game."
Yeah.
So we'd get kind of close, and then like kind of turn around, and start running the other way, like we're just playing tag.
Mhm.
That was the only way we got her, and thank God she fell for the game.
Yeah.
because she thought she was like, "Oh, this is cool. This
Yeah,
is
we're
what we're
having
doing now. We're
fun."
just playing on the street."
I've seen that before too with Huskies, where people had to just like lay in the middle of the road and like trick their dog into
Yeah.
thinking like they were hurt or something, and the dog would come.
Oh, it's so scary. You're playing
It
on a dog's
is.
brains, and you're like, "Am I gonna get outsmarted by a dog?"
Yeah, and am I going to see it get hurt? Like it's just it's very, very stressful. Especially Paige, she has no awareness. Now our other dog, Olive, she does not like to be in the road. She stays on the sidewalk. Like she would be fine. She wouldn't even leave our front yard if she got out. She wouldn't even try to get out. She's a scaredy cat. She wouldn't know what to do.
In fact, I think our gate's been left open.
Oh, it has. Yeah.
A couple times.
Doesn't
Just
care.
like
Yeah.
if like when people come to do the yard or something, or they're in
Mm-hmm.
the spraying like for
ABC spraying for bugs.
that type of thing. And so where I've noticed that the gate is open, but she won't leave.
Yeah, I have
And
no
Paige is
idea.
she's on a harness. So
Yeah.
she can't go anywhere except how far the leash is. But yeah, so she won't even.
No.
And we've had 2 labs that we had for, they died 10 years ago, but they've gotten out, and when we were in Iowa, they've gotten out together, and they always stayed together.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Like homeward bound,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And one of the first times they got out, like her mom had left our gate open, and Nicole got home. She was 9 months pregnant, and she let the dogs out, didn't know that the gate was open,
Mhm.
and she went to let them in, saw
Gone.
the gate was open,
Yeah.
and the dogs, they were gone. So she called me, and I came home. Somebody
Yeah,
I worked with, Mike,
Mike, yeah.
now one of my
Your
best
bowling
friends.
buddy.
Yep.
Mhm.
He came over, and we were looking for the dogs, and our neighbor called our house, and this is pre-cell phone.
Mhm.
Or no, I think we may have had cell phones back then. It's
I
like
don't know.
2003. But so our neighbor gal worked at a grocery store that was probably 7-8 blocks from our house, like in the neighborhood. And our 2 labs just waltzed right into the grocery store like they own the place.
With
And
the-
of course,
the
we were
little automatic doors.
We were
Yeah.
bad pet owners. Didn't have collars on them.
Oh,
Didn't have
man.
tags on them. Mainly because like you put a collar and then they itch and scratch, and they're just like it bothers them.
Mhm.
And you of course think, oh, they're never going to get out. So,
Yeah.
what's the point? But so she recognized our labs and called us.
Yep. They
And
just
then-
walked into the grocery store. What a great day for those employees
Yep.
because they're sweet
They
dogs.
just
They
walked
just put
right
them in
in.
like a closet until we
And
came
when
and got them.
we picked up and got them. And
Yeah.
then there's a couple other times that they got, I don't know how they got
They
out every
spent the
time.
night in dog jail once. That was a sad,
Yep.
stressful
They
night.
spent the night in
They
dog
did.
jail.
Yeah, they
did.
got picked up.
They did get arrested. Yes.
That's so funny. I've had my girlfriend's dog is she back in Hartington. She was notorious for kind of wandering the neighborhood,
Mhm.
and she would like just kind of scratch at people's doors, just occasionally, and then people, oh, it's a cute little wiener dog. They'd let her in, so she
Yeah.
got really accustomed to like I can just walk in anywhere. Well, one day she gets out. My girlfriend and her dad, they're at church service,
Mhm.
and this wiener dog tracks their scent all the way to the church, and the ACs were out, so the doors were wide open
Oh
in the
my
church.
gosh.
In the middle of like the homily,
Yeah.
you see this little wiener dog just making his way down the aisle,
Coming in.
Right to
Yep.
them? Did you-
Right,
Oh
right
my
to them.
gosh,
And
that's
then
so
everyone
cute.
just stops and laughs, and there's like, why is there a wiener dog? Because she like made her way across the front of the altar in her way
Sure.
of finding him,
Yeah.
so everyone got a good look.
So
And this priest is just trying to keep his straight face on, just really wondering why there's a dog
Oh,
walking
that's
through.
awesome. Yep. So that was your running
It
debut.
was rough.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, this weekend we wrapped up our 5-week testing for
Mhm.
our winter 10-week challenge, which was fantastic.
Yep.
Just kind of cool to see changes in our members, and everybody did really well. Almost every single person is building muscle, burning fat, feeling better, increasing their
Improvements in something, which is awesome to have some type of an improvement, whether it's weight loss, muscle gain, fat loss.
Yeah, and sometimes and this kind of talks to everybody out there that's in a fitness journey when you're measuring your results. Like, sometimes we get people that they'll step on the scale and they've gained a pound, right?
Mhm.
But then so we do a body composition where it can show us this is how many pounds of fat that you lose, this is how many pounds of muscle you gain, this is your body fat percentage. So it's like, sometimes we have people that'll gain 2-3 pounds of muscle and they lose 6-7 pounds of fat. But as you're building muscle, you retain more water also. So it doesn't really reflect on the scale. So when somebody asks, like, let's just use somebody as not a person, but like where you gained a pound, but you lost like 7 pounds of fat. So your friend says, "Oh, Nicole, how'd your 5-week testing go?" One of two answers can dictate what that person thinks about ferals, and
Or
also
yeah.
what the person thinks about their results
Right.
in their head.
Yeah.
Because this is something that we combat against also, is
Mhm.
trying to make people understand, like, hey, your body fat percentage dropped 3% and you lost 7 pounds of fat, but you gained a pound on the scale. But we
Mhm.
get so fixated
Yeah.
on that number. So it's like, oh, well, I gained a pound. Like your attitude.
Mhm.
And then your friend says, well, that program sucks. You need to do something else. As hard as you're working, you should be losing weight like crazy. But then the other answer is, I lost 7 inches, 7 pounds of fat. My body fat's down 2-3%.
Gained a couple pounds of muscle.
Gained a couple pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
And that same friend who said the program doesn't work when you gained a pound would be like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. That is just fantastic. And everybody's attitude is happy.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of how you look at things, so.
We
And
just
again,
measure results in multiple ways. That's the benefit of having all those benchmarks that we use: push-ups, sit-ups in a minute,
Right.
measurements, body composition, how you feel, how your clothes feel. Not everyone's goal needs to be to lose weight necessarily. I don't really care for myself what the scale says. I care about how I feel, how I'm able to exercise and work out, my recovery. So I think that's important too. People can be thinking that they're doing really well and feeling great, and then when they see that number on the scale, it, like, discounts everything that they've done, and that
Mhm.
can be really frustrating sometimes because that's the least important part of the process of being healthy. It's the least important, least interesting thing about you is how much you weigh. Like,
Right, like
nobody cares.
Like we were talking about earlier this week is in-depth what we talk about at home. It's like people get on the scale and then it's like, all of a sudden their life changes.
Right. You're the same person that you were 2 seconds ago before you
Right.
stood on that scale, and you had a different perception of yourself. You didn't step on the scale and immediately, like, people step on the scale, they have a thought in their head of what they want to see. That number's higher in their brain. It's like they immediately like blow up to a different version of themselves. Like, you're the same person before
Right.
you stood on the scale. Like, nothing has changed. Like, you're the same person that you were 2 seconds ago before you had a number connected to how you thought that you felt. So that's can be difficult sometimes to break that cycle. That's
Yeah.
what we really want to
That's-
do.
Yes. So, I mean, you know, if people are weighing themselves, that's totally okay. But like when we had Jordan on, you know, develop a healthy relationship with
Yeah,
the scale.
it's just
Don't
data.
let it
Not
be
even
your-
healthy. Develop a neutral relationship
neutral.
with it, so you can just look at those numbers and think back on how the last 2 weeks went, how the last 3 days went, how, and kind of distance yourself from like putting your self-worth against that number, because
Mhm.
nobody cares. Like, nobody's going to put your weight in your obituary when you're dying. Like, nobody really cares what that number is. So why do we care?
Our weight doesn't get put in our obituary.
No.
Jeff died at
You want me to put it in yours?
207 pounds.
You want me to put it in yours?
No, it's
Okay.
okay. Yeah, nobody cares what I
No.
weigh
Yeah.
when I die. So
Right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we're gonna take a break here. We just got one more quick segment. We're gonna talk a little Super Bowl preview here on the Fitness Fanatics. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Husker Nation, Amy Williams and Nebraska women's basketball needs you February 18th at 1 p.m. as the Huskers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. We need your help to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena the first ever. For event and ticket information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that I was not in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by ARP and the Ad Council.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and Ad Council.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I'm an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these heads?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha 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 ha.
Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Brought to you by U.S. Forest Service, State Forester, and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and support adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There's so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and solve this issue. The community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? They are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. If you car price right out, I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuff. Come out to Price Right Westo and you'll find over 100 great vehicles and prices. We won't let you get 11 since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3 months warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
A new year means new goals and upgrading. But that doesn't only the health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in here. We just got a few minutes. We're going to talk a little Super Bowl here. Super Bowl's kicking off in about 6.5 hours. Harrison, if the Bears were in the Super Bowl, I think I would watch every single minute of the Super Bowl pregame from 11 a.m. until kickoff.
I wouldn't be here today. I think I would have taken the whole day off.
Yeah.
I just absorbed every bit of social media I
Oh,
could
yeah.
about the Bears.
Every show,
I would sit in
prime
front of
time,
ESPN. Yeah, first day, everything.
NFL Network.
Uh-huh.
You're just, but now I'm
Immerse.
just like, I don't need to hear all this stuff.
No.
All right, so Super Bowl today, Chiefs, Eagles. I am a bitter Bears fan. And one of the reasons I know a lot of my good friends are Chiefs fans. A lot of our members are Chiefs fans. My dad was a Chiefs fan. I know so many Chiefs fans. Nothing against the Chiefs at all. But I'm a bitter Bears fan. Every time Patrick Mahomes wins, it just makes me sick.
It's a twist of the knife.
Twisting, it just makes me, I just get ill.
Yeah.
Because the Bears passed on him. And in fact, my buddy sent me this article about how the Bears had told Mahomes that if they were going to take a quarterback, they would draft him. And you know what? They didn't draft him.
Yeah, but we've talked about this. There's the coaching to take into consideration. Would he have reached his potential
Well,
if he had been a
it's
Bear?
certainly better than what we've had for the last 5
That's
years.
true. I don't know if he'd reach his potential, but it would have been
Even
a hell
a
of a lot
quarter
better.
of his potential would have been enough. To get
So
you in there.
anyway, I'm probably I'm going to be cheering for the Eagles today. Another reason I want to cheer for the Eagles is because Jack Stoll, who's on the Eagles, came to the Farrell's party in 2019.
Yeah. Yep.
So
we did the
I have
Cupid Shuffle
that's
with
right.
him or
With
something.
Cupid
One of
Shuffle
those. Yeah.
with Jack Stoll and Darian Daniels,
Yeah,
Damian
that's
Daniels.
pretty cool.
Yes. So I have a picture of me and Jack Stoll, and he goes from the Farrell's party to the Super Bowl.
Directly.
That's awesome.
Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So yes.
That's why I'm going for the Eagles. Yeah, Cam Jurgens too. You can
Cam
forget him.
Jurgens.
Yeah, he's on that roster. So
And
yeah.
Sue,
That's always
obviously.
cool.
Yeah, that's right. Sue finds his way to just
He just
hook
joins
on
in
to
about
the perfect
November,
team.
and here he goes.
Like, who do we got?
And
Tom
he doesn't
Brady
even
on the
start.
Buccaneers. Let me hop in here. Eagles going. He just knows how to find a great team that's going on a deep run.
Yeah, he doesn't even start.
No,
you
he just
know?
comes in there and makes plays, but he's still effective when he goes in there, though. When he gets in that rotation, but yeah, he doesn't. He's definitely at the tail end of his career. But
He's also kind of like a intimidation factor too. I feel like maybe when he steps out there, it kind of throws off.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, you would think.
There's opinions about his
I know,
intimidation,
right?
so like it's definitely a true
He
fact
has-
about him.
Right.
Yeah.
He has a reputation
Mhm.
that kind of precedes him when he steps out on the field. Yeah, I feel like he's calmed down a little bit, but I don't know.
John and Cortland texted in, said, enjoy the rest of your day. Looks like a great one. Back to work. Kick out of here about 3:30 and see you at Wings and Rings if you make it there. So again, if you don't have anything
Yeah.
going on tonight,
68th and 0.
68th. Okay, 68th and 0. Super Bowl party here. A whole ticket crew is going to be there. So just come out and see everyone and have a little bit of fun. So Harrison, who do you got for the Super Bowl?
I'm going Eagles. I don't feel great about this one. I'll be honest, but in this one, I'm just trusting like the Eagles' offensive line's incredible. I feel like they can do a lot of different things, and I don't know if Mahomes is bionic. Like, is his leg gonna bother him? Is like he totally fine?
know.
That high ankle sprain, like those are supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
For a while. Like that's not something that's supposed to heal right away. But I mean, he seems totally fine. But I just like the Eagles overall more.
And the
They've
thing
been playing solid.
with Chris Jones, I know he had an amazing game against the Bengals, but I mean, come on, 3 of their offensive linemen were out. They had backups in.
True.
Whole different animal.
Yeah.
Today. But I think it's a fascinating Super Bowl. I love the Andy Reid against his former team storyline. I mean, that's just great. I know, some of the guys are like, like Sipple's like, it's not really. I think it's awesome.
It's
I love it. If the Chiefs win, it's the second Super Bowl for Mahomes. Like now you're starting to talk like, oh, I mean, here we go. How many can he get? It's just, I think it's just great all the way around.
Definitely the Mahomes narrative, because if he gets this one, I'd imagine if they win, he's Super Bowl MVP too.
Yeah,
it's like having 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs,
Crazy.
2 MVPs. Like
he's so young.
How old is
putting
he?
him on the track.
Like 28, maybe.
I don't even know he's 28. Let me look it up.
Yeah,
I think he's younger than that.
Yeah.
5th season.
Crazy.
He could have been a Bear. So there you go.
We know. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Just how young and quick his rise. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We have
How
a
old is
pretty
he?
27.
27.
See, I was
Okay.
close. 20, 27. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. If you missed any part of the show, ticketfm.com under the Fitness Fanatics. We have a pretty awesome guest near and dear to our heart, Mr. Todd Dorr of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, coming up next week.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to that. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Make good choices.
Make good choices. Enjoy eating all your favorite fruits. And we will see you next Sunday on the Fitness Fanatics.